Greetings mates, Stuart Charles here, HomeStudioBasics.com, helping you make sound decisions leading to a beautiful audio experience that will make you fall in love with music all over again. So, before we get started, all links to these products as well as any articles related will be down below in the description box. Check out my gear recommendations as well for most of my top picks all in one place. If you do purchase through one of my Drop or Amazon affiliate links, I will make a small kickback depending on where you live. Your continued support of the blog and channel means everything to me, so thank you so much. Now, let's discuss the HIFIMAN Sundara and compare it with the venerable HD600 and 650, shall we? For all intents and purposes, this will be a shootout. We'll start with build, which is somewhat of a dicey proposition. When the Sundara first came out in 2018, it seemed like all prior build issues with the original 400i and 400s were rectified. It wasn't until a year or two later that some problems started creeping up, from cable connection issues to glue issues on the pads and so forth. The good news is that the redesign did prove fruitful in terms of the more streamlined and robust nature of the frame and bales, but the cups cannot rotate fully this time around, which may or may not bother you. Still, the Sundara is a mostly rock solid headphone. Design wise, we've got the updated lattice grills, the click adjustments for the headband, and a rounded off piece connecting the two ear cups with a thin, flimsy pad underneath. Overall, the combination of spring steel, synthetic leather, anodized aluminum, and OFC copper are all welcome upgrades, but purchasing a Sundara is still a roll of the dice in many ways. By contrast, the HD600 and 650 are both built to last like Duralast for certain, even despite feeling somewhat cheap on your person. The utilitarian design of both headphones look a little more retro than the Sundara, with more plastic present as well. All three headphones have cables connecting into each ear cup, but the Sundara's is a 3.5mm versus the 2-pin connectors on the HD600 and 650. Both also sport velour for the ear cups, but the Sundara's contain a memory foam encased with a bit of protein leather, while the 600-650 combo does not. Question of the day: does anyone know the technical name for the HD600/650's cable? Leave me a comment down below if you know, because I couldn't find it online anywhere, yo.
It's the cost of business, yo.
While the HD600 and 650's pad mimic the shape of your ear, the Sundara's are round like the ass on a steer. Headband padding on both the HD600 and 650 is more plentiful, and while the 600 boasts of 4 nugget pads, the 650 opts for the single pad with the crater in the middle. While we're at it, let's get into comfort and find out how these feel on your apple-ass head. Clamp force on the HD600 and 650 is known to be rather snug like a bug in a rug, but it does open up over time. Feel free to stretch the headphones gently, but be extra cautious, Clay, because the headphone has been known to snap under pressure like Private Pile in Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal Jacket.
The Sundara's clamp is a bit more loosey-goosey, but still conforms to the shape of your big-ass head rather nicely. I don't find any of the headphones here to dig much at all, and I would place all three near the top of any short list for the absolute best in terms of overall comfort. But how do these sound in relation to one another? Glad you asked, homie. Interestingly enough, both the HD650 and the Sundara bear some of the same warmer sentiments, while the HD600 is rather crisp and cool by comparison, with a more forward mid-range around 3K and a livelier overall character than both the 650 and the Sundara. On its own, or compared to another brighter can, the HD600 will sound slightly veiled, but by and large it's still a term that's a bit overdone, like your mom's meatloaf.
You hungry? Hey, Ma! Can we get some meatloaf?
Both imaging and Soundstage do receive slight upgrades when going from a dynamic driver HD600-650 to a planar magnetic Sundara. This is in large part due to the fact that a planar just performs better across the board for a couple of different reasons. A, there are more magnets present in a planar, and B, they are placed more evenly around the diaphragm. This results in a more realistic and natural presentation to your ears, with improved imaging and soundstage, lower distortion, a more buttery smooth bass, a better reproduction of micro detail, and better overall resolution than what you'll get from an HD600 or 650. Both of those headphones have a tendency to feel a little bit boxed in sounding, but instrument separation and imaging are still exemplary, and the headphones themselves continue to remain relevant after over 2 decades on the market. Bass, mid-range, and treble are all incredibly natural sounding and accurately portray a wide range of musical genres with ease and care. From rock to hip-hop, pop to indie, EDM to metal, and almost anything else abound, you can rest assured knowing your purchase is sound.
Yeah! Yes, I'm excited!
The Sundara works for many of the same genres, but I'd argue it does a bit better for classical, jazz, acoustic, gaming, and film because of the reasons mentioned above regarding imaging and soundstage, as well as instrument timbre in the case of delicate guitars and voices specifically. As far as amplification is concerned, the Sundara is woefully inefficient at around 94 decibels per milliwatt, but doesn't resist power much at 37 ohm. Still, you will need an amp DAC for this bad boy. The HD600 and 650 are a bit more efficient at 97 decibels and 103 decibels per milliwatt respectively, but do have a higher impedance at 300 ohm. Still, they're all fairly easy to drive and you shouldn't have much of an issue finding a great amp DAC to pair. Don't overthink it! Speaking of, check my gear recommendations link below. I have a great setup for both the HD600 and 650 as well as the Sundara if you're just getting started. So which of these headphones tickles your pickle? Let me know. Well, that's about it for today, guys. Leave me some love down in the comments and don't forget to subscribe. If you love what I do here and you want to support the channel in a more personal way, hit that Patreon link down below. And last but not least, don't forget to ask me about my grandchildren. Don't feed the troll. And most importantly, don't ever give up.
Yeah. All the fake rappers out there. Smokey Robinson, one time. Old school, man. Esoteric Eric. Who's that? Check it. Who is it? It's Stu Black, here I am with the review once again. By this point you gotta know I'm deadly with the pen. You wanna battle me? I'll gladly take the win. You whip a caddy, but it's wrecked. I'm rolling fatties and I'm spent. Call me Lassie, I'm legit. I saved the day, but I'm no fever pitch. I'm kinda sick, I spit retarded. I'm autistic and it fits. I'm like a kid on Christmas morning. It's a cinch, you overthinking it again. I'm dropping wisdom in a pinch. I know you listening to this, cause I be ripping it to bits. I get the gabbing, I'm on my I'm popping red pills and I'm rich. I'll make you quiver with my lips. I'll make you shiver with my stanzas. It's a hit like Sinatra in the mob. I come equipped a little bit like Tech 9. I keep it lit, a fire sign. I'm dangerous, out of control. I majored and I play to win. Do me a favor and just quit.